children and a grandmother of 14. So between us, that is. So between us we have 7 children. He has 4, I have 3. And we have 14 grandchildren. Yes, and at this time, I think we'll begin from the beginning. And we begin 50, how many years ago? Let's begin in 1970s, when none of you were born. In 1976, who was born?
She was born.
She was born, great.
She was born.
So, 1876, yes, yeah. So in 1976, I was at the university in KU, though now that time it was Kenyatta University College. So we were actually from the University of Nairobi. And I was a young girl of about 22 years, I think, or so. And I was a Christian. I was very enthusiastic about Christian life. And so we had a group that was introduced, that was created by default. I had a friend of mine who we had known each other, a girl in Alliance, so I had come in and we had just become students, and she told me there is a certain lady and she's been inviting us to go to her house every Tuesday to go and eat mukimo. So why don't we go eat mukimo? And so every Tuesday, and actually Thursday turned out, we would always go to that home. And it turned out that that home was his auntie and his uncle's home. So he too was a very young man of about the same age. He was about 22 as well. And many, many other young people in at that time. So we used to go to her home because she wanted a safe place. They actually, it was like, they just had created a safe place for the students who were Christians to go there and just have a good time. So we would eat from her home, and we would enjoy, we would sometimes read the Bible together, we would watch movies. I remember that was the first time for me to watch Sound of Music, and many others. And that is how I met him, because he was the nephew of the auntie, okay, along with the others. Now, like I said, there were many others. I got my first husband. I happened to be, before I met him, I was a widow, okay, in that group. So we were all a circle of friends, okay. So we had a great time together. It made university life very, very exciting and very interesting, because we would go to different places. We would just have a great time. But fast forward, let me just make it fast forward. I got married to that guy who was in the circle in 1979, and we had, like I said, 3 children, and our life together was very good at first. He had a very good, he was like an activist at the university, okay? And so he took his activism, political activism, so seriously, even after we left, that he was actually, he made himself Moi's enemy, okay? And he was detained for 2 years. And life was very hard for us, but his family was very supportive to me, and made it very easy. Then for me to just continue, nurturing and raising my children. Now he came out. So when he came out, that was in 1988, 89. My career was still continuing on. It was in 88. We had 2 children then. So in 89, when he came, now I had a child with him. And that was my last born child. And he didn't stop. It's like once the bug bites you with the politicians, it just keeps biting you until you die. So he continued with his activism, and this meant that he could not stay in the country, and he had to leave. And he went to Tanzania, then he went to London. Meanwhile, I was still a teacher in the Rift Valley, and I had to make up my mind, do I want this marriage to continue or not? Because I felt like we didn't have a marriage. So, and my mother-in-law was very supportive then, and even the family was supportive. It's like, we just want you to stay and just have a good time. So when he in London asked me, can you come and join us? Life is okay here, and you will even continue with your education, things will be fine. So I had to make up my mind, because I also had an opportunity to go to another country to continue with my education. That was in Jamaica. I also had another place here in Kenya that I needed to go to. So I needed to make up my mind, do I go to London especially, or do I go to Jamaica, Kingston? Then I thought the best thing, and with God's help, is to join my husband wherever he is, because my kids had missed out so much on life with their father. And I thought, well, where he goes, I go, where he stays, I stay. So I decided, if I go to Kingston, yes, I'll get the degree and everything, but where will I tell them where was that? And is that what life is all about? So we went to London, we stayed there, and it was quite interesting, because they were the Mount Kenya pioneers. I'm sure you've heard of Mount Kenya. And we now became like a fraternity there, as in our house was even the office of Ford. Before it became Ford Asili, before it became Ford Kenya, it was Ford. Yes, and we interacted a lot with all those politicians and all those scholars. There were lots of scholars, because I'm sure you know some of them. Let me not mention them, because they're neither here nor there in this story, right? Yeah, so we were adapted by the International Amnesty. So we didn't have a difficult time ourselves, we didn't struggle much. They just took us in as like we were in asylum. It's like in exile. So life was not difficult. He even got a job at the London Polytechnic, but he didn't sustain it. I also got a job, and but after about like 2 years, he decided he wants to come back. So we had to come back. It was very difficult for me to come back. After all that, I come back, but then that's now when I became a Christian in London. That's when I was very encouraged by by my fellow Christians. They said, if it is God's will for you to stay here, you will, if you'll even come back. Or if you're going to go, that's fine. Wherever you are, God is there. And so I came back. We came back, all of us, we came back together. And I think this is when, Matiba was in London that time, and Matiba wanted to become president this way. And I think he was supporting him. I think that's why he wanted to come back. It was very difficult for him. So he came back, and he did not nothing happened to Matiba. So that really brought that man down. Until now, life changed for us. He became very rough, and he became a drunk. He changed completely. So that it was so bad, he now even resorted, let's say that frustration made him and he was a lecturer before that, made him to stop, made him to start drinking, to start beating me, and to withdraw, funds and now that kind of thing. It was a bad life for me, because when I came back, already the government of Kenya had interdicted me, because now being a a detainee's wife, just become nothing. Yeah. So I didn't have a career anymore. It was over for me. And so several years, like from 1993, 4, 5, 6, it became worse. So in 1996, I had to leave, because he just became, I had to stop, and I felt like it was such a road deal. I sacrificed my career, I sacrificed my life, and then on top of that, at that time, he already now had another woman. And he told me, I want both of you. And you know how bitter it can be, because here you have sacrificed, you have your life and with him, and now he says he wants somebody else in your life. So I told him, no, let's just decide. I leave, you carry on with somebody else, wherever it is. So I decided to leave. I had a very supportive, the same woman. She said, please, I beg you, don't go anywhere else, come to me. So I went back to my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law, she was very wonderful to me. She was very supportive. She was emotionally, I had a career, in the sense that although now I had trained as a teacher trainer, I had to go back to start afresh. I became a primary school teacher. And many people could not understand what's going on, but then I realized that it didn't matter when you're a teacher educator. For me, I had that confidence that I am who I am, I'm capable from here to the top. So I stayed in Eldoret. I thought that's where my in-laws were. I stayed there. I lived there. My children were educated there. He didn't help, but my mother-in-law helped, and the family helped. And then my kids continued studying. Two of them went to the university. By 2005, when he passed on, I had the last one, who I had conceived in 1988 with me, and she was in high school. So I don't know, you're following me? Yeah. We are together, okay? So, and by the way, I'm not putting details. I'm just trying to end this first era, this first story of the first man. So he was with the other woman, because I decided I'm not going to stay with you. So he stayed with the other woman, and they stayed for 5 years, and then he left her. And then that was in 2001. In 2003, his mother died. Okay? This sweet mama of mine, I used to call her Naomi, because she was just... Your mother-in-law. Yes, she was just an amazing woman. She died in 2003. When he came for the funeral, he said, I want you back. And I thought, excuse me? We've been parted for 7 years, and you want me back? Why would you want? Is it that things have changed? What I left for, has it changed? Of course, I knew the woman had left. But then it's like, what about his heart and his mind? Had anything changed? And so he said, I just want you back. And then, okay, to keep peace, I said, all right, I am willing to come back. But then we've been separated for 7 years, and I decided to turn it on me. But you don't know what I've been doing. Of course, I was not doing it. But then, because I didn't want to say to him, I don't know what you've been doing, I decided to say, I don't know what you don't know what I've been doing. Why don't we go get tested? We go get tested, because you don't know how my life has been, who I have been with. Do you want to put a noose around your neck and kill yourself? Maybe I have something. And he said, yes, you must have something. Go and get tested. So I said, no, I wanted both of us to go and get tested. And he said, no, that's not for me. So for me, that was like, I'm not going to go back. Yeah. So let me just, let me mute it. Let me just make it so that it won't be paused. Sorry about that. So I decided I wasn't going to go. And then my children were struggling very much, especially the two, because I was having the one in Eldoret. So I decided they were really struggling financially because he was not available for them. And in our church, we are very supportive, extremely supportive, because when my daughter, my firstborn daughter, when I left because of the other one, she was forced and asked to consider this one her mother. And she said, no, my mother is in Eldoret. I don't know, this is your Gashungwa. I cannot. And and then my late said, okay, if you're not going to respect her and honor her, then just. So we had to look for a way for my daughter to stay somewhere else. And I really am so thankful for the relationships we have in church. There was one couple that literally took my child. My daughter at that time, she was in high school. She had just joined State House. And so she was there for in school, in school we go for 4 years, isn't it? Mm-hmm. But she was in that home for 7 years. 7 years. And I will forever be grateful to this family. Then my son also. He refused for him to stay there. And also he didn't want it because he didn't like what he was seeing. He just didn't like staying with his father. So I had to look for another family to take care of them, of him. And they were very supportive to me. And I really thank God for such friendships. They are rare. They are very rare. They are very few and far between. But I just feel like it was such a gift for me. And so in 2003, when my mother-in-law died, I refused to join him, and I stayed in Eldoret. I decided I wasn't, but my children were struggling in Nairobi. So in 2003-04, I decided to come back to Nairobi. We were living quite well in Eldoret, but I decided, no, let me just come back and live with my children. So I got a very humble place. And the home is where the mother is. It doesn't matter hata kama ni hema, mama akiwa, home, that is home. And that is exactly what happened. So we lived with my children somewhere in Uthiru. And after that, we got news in 2005 in May that my late had been hit by a car. So now that meant that was the end of that marriage. That was the end of everything. But I was very, very devastated. I was very hurt. I was hurt. Why? Because I was looking forward to a change. I was so hopeful. Every single day, I was hopeful. I was praying, and I'm like, and many people would tell me, people change. What will change? That change. Then remember, he had also started drinking a lot. I don't know if I told you that. So I was very hopeful, but I don't know why I'm hearing that. I should be hearing it. When you mute, how do you get to know it? Huh? It's a microphone. Yes, it is. No. Is it a microphone? Just on the way to flight mode. Flight mode, eh? Okay, thank you. Yeah. So that was over, and now my kids have grown. Now they are at the university, they have finished, and now they have started working, and now they have fallen in love, and now they are living. That was 2005, he passed on 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Within 7 years, my children had left the nest. Oh my goodness. Oh no, no, that is, when they are there, the noise, the hustle and the bustle of life. It's okay, it's all right. And the challenges you get, they keep you busy. You're looking forward to the next day. You have people around you. Wait until they leave. Then there is nobody to talk to. It is all silent. You're looking at that corner, and all you can see. It is a terrible situation to be. I'm sure you can relate. Yeah. So that is now when I decided. Hey, I even told them I have a very good bond with my children. So I told them, yeah, I'm feeling lonely, and I'm feeling I don't want to keep on calling you. I noted I'm complaining to them and telling them, you don't even call me. Thinking I'm spilling my problems over to my children. Yeah? I'm making them go on a guilt trip. Yeah, because they are living their lives. Why should they call me? So I told them, I'm feeling lonely. So I feel that is a very important part to share with your children how you're feeling, what is going on. So my daughter said, no problem, no big deal. My son was like, hey, why would you feel lonely? Why? You should feel busy. And sons are very different from daughters, yeah. So that is now when we were praying. I shared with my friends about how I was feeling, and that hole was so deep. It's like there came a time when I was so restless. I was feeling like, how long am I going to stay like this? So whenever I would get together with my friends, they would ask me, why are you feeling lonely? So you would like to get married? I said, no, I want to have a friend. I'd like someone first. I'm not on a journey where I want marriage, but I'd like to have a fellowship with a friend who maybe I can touch base, maybe I can connect, because this truly is not for another girl. And I realized I needed somebody. And I would be very open and tell them, I want somebody I can confide in, someone who I can talk to, someone who I can hug. And so we decided to pray. And then one day, hey, this young man here, Walter, on Facebook, he said, hi. And I'm thinking, what? It had been 36 years since we had last met. 36 years. So I think I should stop from there, and then he can start on, and then we will come to the high. Come on now, Nadia. See, it's going to connect. Because here I am high. That is the real.
True fish, true. Continue.
Yeah, okay, when he said hi, I was like, is this the same man I knew? Is this Migwi? He said, yes. Are you sure? Then I checked the picture and said, yeah, actually, he is the one. I said, what are you doing?
After you discovered your husband died,
No, we have not talked.
You didn't even know.
He did. It just popped. I don't know how. He says he did not look for it.
I think from that point, it will be more interesting if
He's rich man.
Yes. Yes, please.
Give us your version of your story, brother.
Okay.
I might not be as eloquent as she is. She's an English teacher, and I will speak like a man from slopes of Mount Kenya, but bear with me.
It's okay.
Bear with me. My name is Walter Migwi Wagigi, aka Migwi Wagigi. Migwi Wagigi. I got employed in Kenyatta University in 1975. Okay, 1975, when they were introducing so and so one, Nania, Akina Goma, Mina, Kenya, Kamo, such thing. And so I threw Walter and I became Migwi Wagigi. I am a retired young man, but I'm not tired. I'm retired but not tired. And there are lots and lots of activities that goes on in the slopes. I was born in those years during Mau time. Yeah. Actually, if I tell you that I'm approaching 100 from above, I'm 28 years to go, and I'll be 100 years. You know, you can guess when I was born. My story is like this. After what she said, that they used to come to my aunties to eat chapatis and mukimo. Chapatis on Tuesdays, mukimo on Thursdays. I used to see them, 15 of them, about 10 girls and 10 girls and 4 boys. And then her late also joined the team, and I was there. I am a trained library technician, dealing with the visually impaired persons or any person with a disability. And that's exactly what I'm doing even now, as retired as I am. I got married in 1983 to a very beautiful girl. Yeah. And I love that girl. I married her without a job. But due to God's love and presence, she got a job as an sales somebody in the Kenya Airways. And she became very, very senior. Yeah, we had 4 children, 3 girls and a boy. And we stayed married for 22 years, from 1983 to 2005. And then akaona haka mtu si kazuri sana. Anma kiu mimi na mkondola juele na mdhabi ya maono. I really worshipped her, and that made everything different. And so she left me in 2005, and then 2006, I got a letter from, no, 2007, I got a letter from the Milimani court to show cause why I should not divorce and share the property with her. Sasa ameacha kazi, na after leaving Kenya Airways, she joined a cult which didn't believe that the Holy Spirit is God. And that became a tug of war, trying to explain to her that the Holy Spirit is God. And I was telling her, let's read the Bible and get the whole truth. She said no way. So she left, and went to Zimbabwe and married them. Sasa nikaachwa na watoto wanne. The first girl is in the university, second girl in college, Kenya School of Professional Studies. Alikuwa huku, mwingine ako Chania Girls, na kana kijana ako shule primary school class 4. Amehepa na ameenda. Sasa nimepatiwa barua ya kusema ni true cause I should not be disciplined from the Milimani court. Sasa I tried to crack my head up. I was given 7 days to give that letter, to show cause. And so I wrote. Okay, I handed the letters. Sasa ameenda, alikuwa amekuja kupeleka hii case so that we can be officially divorced and she wanted our property to be sold and we get our kila mtu apate portion yake. The years that I grew feel like something like this was that year, 2007 and 2008, because I didn't know what would be the results of this case. Huyu bibi anataka tugawanye. Sasa kaploti anataka uchukali na nimejenga. And she wanted that plot to be sold. Tugawanye. Nikapeleka watoto wapi? Na wako shule. To make the matter worse, my first daughter, that 2005, got a baby. Got pregnant in the university. It was problematic. I almost went crazy. Enough to cut the whole long story short, 2009, we were somewhat in. I didn't know that when a case is being done no, she first took me to FIDA. She first took me to FIDA through her church, that called church. And I went and debated myself. And then, ikasema hiyo yote, sinisomea hiyo masitako nilikuwa nimestakiwa. And I gave my version. And then the lady who was with us in FIDA said, "Hey, woman, if 10 men are like what he has said, Kenya would be the best place to live in. So go back home, reconcile with your husband, and then you make your home." She can't under my dead body. So she went back to the church, and they gave her money to go to court. And so those 2 years, they were casing. I didn't know that. But because I got the judgment, the prenuptial agreement, I saw what they have been. Yeah, and that is after the divorce when I got that. That's when I saw what they have been going through. From 2007, I gave those people. That time I had to get a lawyer. So when we went to court, when we went to FIDA, she came kutoka Zimbabwe. Akakuja, and she was dressed in a very, very awkward way to prove that she has been mistreated, beaten, to prove her case. Na mimi natoka university library, naweka katai yangu hapo na kasuti na kagazeti hivi, tunakuja. And I saw her. I'm telling you, sincerely, I saw her, I cried. Na mimi kupata machozi yangu si rahisi. She looked devastated. Alikuwa kitu baya. To prove, she wanted to prove. So, when I went to court, that time she came as a lady. Na mimi nilikuja kama karani ya university. Alikuja na kai mnaita skati suit na kabali hivi. Let me tell you, I looked at her and said, she is the lady that I love, the lady I adored, the lady that I love, the lady. So we kissed, akakupoka mambo yake yote. Alafu na mimi, the prosecutor asked her, what you want is good. We are going to auction this plot and the house, and what do you think the children, she was asked, since you went away, who has been taking care for the subject of the children? She said, they have got their dad. Okay. could we see the subject? Okay, we didn't have, they were not in court, but I gave the photographs as an exhibit. And then she was asked, and she gave her reason, and she said they have their children. So, and after her giving her reasoning, I was called. I went and asked, what would you like? After giving my story, what would you like? I say, I have tried many counselors, including church priests. Then I was a Baptist, and I had consulted many people, counselors. I would like now the government to maybe give us a counsel, and then we reconcile. We are retiring. She said, no way, we can't return there. We nataka tuuze hii shamba, and then we call it a day. The case was not ruled. I didn't win the case, but the case was ruled in my favor, because Justice Olekewa, when he started, due to irrevocable fee, believes this case, this marriage dissolved. And she had already got married. She went back to Zimbabwe. Then, now we come to the life of my life after that. Now I feel secure. And hata nikaanza kuwa na muscle. And I was approaching retirement. I had about 4 years to retire. Sasa what I did is I went all the way to Nyeri. So nilianza kuona dalili. Unajua dalili ya mawingu ni mvua. Dalili ya mvua ni mawingu. Nilikuwa nimeanza kuona vile ninaangaliwa hivi, Kazeka naenda kulitaya, kana kwa nyumba yake. Women's Guild lady was started visiting. Mother Union. So the visiting hapa zitatambua. I went all the way to Nyeri. I got my dad. I came and started living with him. My first daughter married in 2009. Wapili akaolewa 2012. Watatu akaolewa 2014. Na huyo aliolewa 2012 akachukua huyo mwingine. Nikaja na kijana. Kijana ikakuwa ndani mlevi. Mambo yalikuwa gumu. Sasa nimeota dada hapa. Huyu na gani mlevi. Hawa wameenda. Oh dear. I started sensing loneliness. Actually, before that, I hated ladies. Kwa sababu huyu ni mrembo, nilikuwa nimeshukua, and nilikuwa nimemweka kama queen. Company ya Kenya Airways ilikuwa nimeweka kama queen. She could travel anywhere in the world. And she looked an executive. Beautiful, proper. Anyway, it was material. Mimi, what I did is, when they left the nest apart from the boy and my dad, I started feeling but I had made my mind, I will not get married, I will not look for somebody until these children have all finished and have settled. That's what happened. See, I was a library technician dealing with the visually impaired person. And so in the office, I used to go very early in the morning so that I can be able to go through the papers and record for the blind to come and read the recording. Whom do I see on the screen of Facebook? Because these are the things that I used to normally do. It is Rose Wango. And she said, I have just arrived. I have just arrived in. lady, I had met her 36 years ago. Actually, I attended her wedding with the man. And since then, I have not seen her. Now, what I did is, I just said hi.
Hi.
That's what. And then and then she asked, "Where do you stay?" I said, "I stay in Kasukari." In our church, then I was not in that church. But it is our church now. In our church, we don't visit. The girls don't visit men, or ladies don't visit men. We don't until you have gone steady and engaged. Actually, it is after an engagement that is when you are supposed to go. This girl became a disciple in London, and she came. When she came, and when we have now started talking, she invited me to church. When she invited me to church, I was a Baptist, a real Baptist. Well, I am a man. Tulipofika kwa kanisa, akanipeleka kwa mchungaji. She disappeared. It's true, she disappeared. Akatoja na mchungaji. Tukazungumza, we talked and talked, and I loved these guys. These guys, ukikutana huyu, unaona ni kama walijuana 1920. Wakikutana huyu ni kama walijuana 1940. Naye huyu mchungaji akanifanya kwa mwingine. Huyo mwingine alinifanya nicheke sana kwa sababu alikuwa anaitwa Hen Goko. Yeah. And he became a friend from then. Then after church is when I saw her. What I discovered in that church, the love that people had for those visitors was far much beyond what I knew. Kwa sababu where I was worshiping, after the benediction and the maombi ya mwisho, unaona mtu wa kwanza ako kwa gate, ameenda kanisa inaisha. So, I met this girl. Since I knew her, let me tell you, I had no ideas. Kwanza, I think I can't consider my auntie, Chesaling, the girls that come to visit her. So I had no idea at all. But now I've seen her. And I want to prove to them I knew her. Sasa nikaanza kuambiwa, these are the restrictions. This is studying the Bible. This is the way you should go. And I remember once I asked huyu mchungaji nilipelekwa kwake, sasa wako nilimjua 1976. How can you say that she's not my friend? She's my friend. Mchungaji akaniambia what we believe in, to remain pure. Actually, I even attempted to visit her in her place. Akaniambia hapana, huku huwezi kuja peke yako. Yeah, huwezi kuja peke yako.
Mchungaji alikwambia mageni nikwambia.
Kwa mchungaji aliniambia na yeye naye nimeweza kutembea kwake. Si nimeshajua sasa sini napita. Akaniambia hapana, here you can't come alone. You come with somebody else. After the first time that I visited, she invited somebody. Yeah, I didn't go alone. Na mimi nikaona hasa si sawa. Actually, I studied the Bible with a mchungaji for 3 good years because I could not understand. What are they saying? But they were always producing scriptures and teaching me to remain honorable, to remain pure, to remain person who can represent. Anyway, tukaendelea. What do we do? What was annoying me is they had told me, wangu hatujui ni rafiki yako. Wewe ndio unajua ni rafiki yako, lakini si hatujui. You have to ask her in front of us. Ati ili tukubali yeye ni rafiki yako. Kwa sababu naweza kuwa anasema ni rafiki yako na si rafiki yako. One day nikajifahamu nikamuuliza. Okay, that is history. Ukitaka kujua wengine ni yako, kuja kwetu.
Alikataa.
So,
Atatuanzia.
so
Nasema, did I agree or did I accept?
she accepted. But that is going still. Yaani mjuane ili unajua you can get somebody lakini kuna vitu hujui yake. If you I'm talking about our church. If you feel that now you are ready, now you ask her for marriage. So there are courses that we go through and nikapita hiyo yote. The challenging bit was when my daughters knew that I had got a girlfriend, we were very, very close. Apparently, I'm very, very good chapati cooker. Or whatever the case may be. Cook. Walikuwa wanakuja kunitembelea, wakipiga kahawa sukari engine, wanapiga simu, ma daddy, tupikie chapati tunakuja. And imagine wanakuja empty-handed. Kanyaga chapati hivi. Wanatandika wanaenda wanarudi kwao. Wanakuja na boyfriend yao wanapikia. Anyway, when they learned that I had got a girlfriend, walikuwa wanaanza wanakuja vile wanakuja. Lakini wanaenda kila bedroom kutafuta kama kuna nguo ya msichana huyo. That is a real challenge that I really faced because they were expecting that I am going to get this lady. Walikuwa wamemwona nitamweka kwa nyumba. Hawakupenda hiyo. Walikuwa wanataka to remain single, to remain alone, so that they can be coming whenever they want to come and demand, because they knew if somebody comes in, they will not get access to the house. So when we decided now that we are going to get married, we decided hakuna mtu atakafa ule mwingine. Mimi niuze vitu yangu yote na yeye auze vitu yake yote, au utupatie watoto alafu look for a little place to let and stay. And that didn't make us happy because hakuna mtu mmoja alikuwa anakuja kwetu anasema hii kwa mama yetu, hii kwa baba yetu. Hapana. They were coming to a neutral. We didn't take anything. She didn't come to my place with anything. I didn't go to her place with anything. I just boxed my blessings. We looked for other things together. So, I think that is my story. And as you ask questions, that is when we will be able to tell you more of ourselves.
Yeah, so hi. Yeah, so at that time I was involved in a project, our family project. And so I was very curious. I really wanted to meet him. I wanted to see how is he. So when he said he's at the university, I was involved in a building project. So I was building and I was getting some tiles, these ceramic tiles for clay works. Clay products, the one that is near memory. Yeah, so I didn't even know the way to where he was telling me to go. So the first day I made a mistake, and so I didn't make it. The second day I was still very curious. I really wanted to know because he had called me and he had told me, yes, I live with my father and we live in Gaosukari. So I thought, okay, I can pass by on my way back after getting the bricks. That's exactly what happened. And it was on this day when he gave me a brief story of himself, how he was left by his ex, and how he's living with his father, and his grandson. And I asked him, so what are you going to do? Yeah, I'll just take care of my father. Then I asked him, and then after that, we just wait for the Lord to come back. I thought, oh my goodness, we're waiting for the Lord to come back. I felt very sorry for him. I really felt so, because he really loved that woman so much. And if he hasn't told you the reason why, it's because she had joined this group and therefore they could not agree. And I thought to myself, hey, here there seems to be like potential. You know the way a thought can come into your head. Potential here. But then, waliachana kwa sababu ya fee. Hey, then this is difficult because it's either we're going to work together or not work. So I remember just putting that in my heart, and I was really sorry for him. He was doing such a great job on his father. And so I continued. He was also very excited to see me. And so the following day I was also going for the bricks. And so he tells me, pitia hapa uone ofisi yangu. And I also introduced it to my friends, and I'm asking, akiwa introduce atasema mimi ni nani? So anyway, curiosity. So I went. And he said, oh, she used to be here a long time ago, and these are my colleagues. And then we go to the car. This is the third visit. And he tells me, why don't we become friends? I'm thinking, how bold. This is the third time. He's telling me we become friends. Then I said, no, let's do this. Let's pray about it. Let's just go pray about it. So the moment it happened, when it happened, I thought, this is the way I felt that time and the way I desired. And here he's putting the desire. So I thought, I'm not going to take this lightly. But I decided to go and tell my spiritual leader. So and his wife, I told them, I need to see this, something that is burning my heart. Right now, I want to see you. I said, you can't see us now, because it was one of the midweek services. And he said, oh, I said, but I got to see you very soon. Soon. Can I see you tomorrow? I said, tomorrow? No. We have, and then they told me about the schedule. But then you'll be not so busy in the evening. I can afford to come if you tell me where. I said, okay, so let's meet at the YMCA at 5. And so we met. So when we met, I told them, I told them the background of this guy, how we knew each other and so on. And then I told them how I had seen him, like, now it was at that time. And then I told them, and he told me, can we become friends? And then they asked me, so how is he like? I told them about the background of his, the way he was in church for many years, and the way when he was, that time he was just a nice, charming guy. He hadn't changed to me when I saw him. And then I said, okay, why don't, no, John said, why don't situmchuje? Sit, let to bring him, invite him to church. Bring him. Yeah, we will embrace him, and then we will see whether what you are saying can work or it can't work. Yeah, and so we continued. There was this day, we had the talent day in 2012. So he came to church on that day, and I introduced him to George, who immediately introduced him to Guko. These are members of our church who took him. And I was very happy because I knew with them that they would build friendship, they would work with him. And so in the process, he is also a very social person. He's very warm, he's very welcoming, very hospitable. So he kept inviting people to his home. Come over. So, and because now I had already known his place, he told them, and she knows where I live. So let her bring you. Yeah, so that's how it is. For me, he asked me, so where do you live? I told him where I lived, and then he came. I told him this is where I live, and when he came, he found, actually I had 2 friends. And so the next time, he actually came up to the gate, and I told him, I don't even know why you should be coming here now, because when you come, you will give that picture about me that, people have been watching me. They know me. So, and there is a way in which I reach out to them, I talk to them. There is a way in which I interact with people. Ukikuja na wewe, sasa unakuja kama friend yangu, unakuja mimi na wewe tunaingia kwa hiyo nyumba, utaharibu vichwa vya watu. And mimi start. So, I told him, for me, the Bible tells me you should not give any hint of any impurity or any sexual immorality or anything. So, please, tusikutane hapa. Tusikutane hapa ukiwa wewe peke yako. Wacha ukue na friends. And I also come to your place with friends. So that is why he was very keen, because he really wanted us to be together. It's like he wanted it, if he could do it every day, it could happen every day. Where he would entertain every single day so that I can take my friends there. Yeah, I mean the friends he was inviting. And it went on very well, it was very good. So that meant I had to tell everybody, this is my new friend. Make sure that you reach out to him, become his friend. And it went very well. Now, remember, I had come from a home where now I was a widow in that home, and they had not stopped embracing me. There was still the family structure, and so I just couldn't. Singekuwa tu ati na yeye. I mean, singekuwa friendin na yeye without letting them know anything. So I told them, so as I was sharing with him, I told him, I have a family, where the father of these children is my family. And and they know, actually they knew that, because I had told even all of them, I would wish to get married as my father's daughter, not as so-and-so's widow. I want me. It's my desire. I want that to happen for me before I die. That's what I used to say. Because I feel there are good things for me here. I want them. So I shared with my co-wives, the co-wives, we call them co-wives, when your brothers-in-law's wives become your co-wives. I had told them that I want to get married. And I want to get married. And I was so determined. So in my mind, in my heart, and I had started praying about it. That's when he said bye. And I decided, as the friendship was growing, as we kept going, we would also get our time to know one another. And we loved it at the museum, where we just sit, where there is no interruption out there. You're just talking to one another, you're just catching up. So I went to Eldoret and I told my brother, oh my goodness, my father-in-law passed on, my mother-in-law passed on. So we had a big brother who was much younger than my late. So, but nevertheless was the head of the family. So I wanted to really honor this family. I told them, I have found somebody that I really like. Can I bring him? What happens if, I am interested in getting a life together with him? What happens? You're curious. You want to know. I said, we don't know, but why would you want somebody else in your life? You're okay the way you are. You're okay, you have children, and you have a family, you have us. I said, no. I said, me, my father and my mother's daughter, I want a life. So it was very tough. Do you know I took him, and my brother-in-law was like, him. So what do you want with my sister? That was the first question. Unataka nini na yeye? What do you want? And I'm thinking, I've already explained what we want. And he was so convinced that he wanted more. I don't know what he thought he wanted. Nevertheless, we went like 3 times there, and then years were flying by. We were not in a rush because now he needed to understand the things he needed to spiritually understand. So eventually, in 2018, and also remember, because I am a widow, I have to go through administration, all that sort of thing. And the reason why it was important was so that my children's property can stay with them, so that it doesn't go to him. Because if I don't do that and I get married, then things might turn out badly. And so they asked me, have you processed the grant? I said, not yet. So don't even talk to us about these things. Finish the grant. So I finished, and I showed them, and they saw everything, and they were happy with it. And then they said, no, show us the prenuptial agreement. We want to know what is the plan that you have. What are the agreements you have between him and you about this marriage that you want? And that was tough. We got ourselves a lawyer, he and I, and who helped us write a prenuptial. We needed the lawyer to talk to our children, because now they realize we are serious. It's not a joke, it's a serious matter. So his children had a session with the lawyer, and my children, many times we had a session with the lawyer because of the property, and also because of them trying to understand. I have a son who is very, when your firstborn son becomes like your father, your son, your husband, just to let you know, if you have a son, you fight tooth and nail. It hurts him to imagine that there's somebody else who can take their father's place or something like that. So it was not easy, but I was determined. And so through those sessions, we were able to do a lot of things. We had many other sessions with now my children and their uncles and their aunties. And they thought all that time, they really thought I was crazy. They were like, they kept looking at me and like, so you I remember my son inviting me to their church and telling me, you must go and listen to this session. So I agreed to go and listen, and the session was like, he was saying, getting a husband does not complete your life. It doesn't mean that you'll not have, it doesn't make you complete. Just in case you feel like there's a little emptiness and therefore the husband is going to come and now he's going to complete you. That's not true. So there was a lot that went on. And so later on I thought, okay, that is good. I have learned. And we talked about that with my son. And I told him that's why I wanted you to listen to that session. I said, because you are acting like heaven will come down when you get heaven. Oh my goodness. So I told him, okay, I cannot explain or get you to know why I feel this way, but this is my journey. Just respect the fact that this is my journey, and I would like to go through it. If it has its bumps, I am the one who will face the consequences of whatever. I just believe that something would come out of it. I said, all right, you're my mother, I respect you. I respect you. But let nobody ever cause you to cry. Let nobody ever cause you to feel sad. Or he would go on and it's like, no, because I told you their father was rough with me. So it's like, you can't do this a second time. That would be very foolish. Yeah? And you think that this man is, or he would always sit me. I felt like, aya, nimepata baba. So he used to talk to me a lot. And he would say, you know, this is my feeling. And then when we did the prenuptial, now he came up with this other one. You can't get married to that man. No, you can't get married. I said, why? We have done everything. No, he's divorced. And the Bible refuses. You can't get married to a man who is divorced. And you, a widow should not get married to a divorced man. Look for a widower. Don't get married to a divorced man. It was tough. And so again, it went back to our church, and we researched and checked and did whatever. And they really were able to talk about these issues of divorce and marriage and so on. And I remember for myself reading that scripture in the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 7, verse 15, which says, this believer, if she leaves, then you're not bound. You're not bound. You're free to get married. And then I would always, we used to say, God can't be that hard. He can't be that. I mean, he's a sensitive God. He knows who is innocent and who is guilty. So he is a compassionate God and wants me to be happy. So anyway, that is a very important area of marriage, especially when you open it to the children and when you open it to everybody. So eventually, the brother, who was the big, the head of the home, he passed on. He passed on in 2019. And everybody came, and of course, we loved him. This was a very special family I was married to. I mean, 1 in a million. So everybody came, we buried him, and it, then the day ile tunaita ya kufunga kamiti. Sindio? We were all there together, and they asked. They had come as fast. There are some who are out of the country, some are in Canada, others in America, wherever, and the ones who are here, we all had a family meeting. Plus our children. So my children were there, their children were there. So after we ate, now they had an issue, and the issue was me. And so they said, now that we have closed this issue, and now that Wango has finished her administration, and she has shown us the prenuptial agreement, whatever we have asked her to do, she has done. What do you people think? And so everybody was able to say the reason why they were resistant. Said, I really didn't want you to get into another relationship because we want you to stay in our home. We don't want you to leave. I said, I'm not leaving. Said, no. The moment you get married, you go. I said, no, we'll always be together. We don't have anything. I don't have anything wrong or bad. anything against you. You don't, we shall be meeting together. He said, no, it doesn't work like that. You go to another home, you become part of that home. So they were able to express themselves, and they said they were just fearful. It's not like they didn't want you to be joyful or happy or satisfied. It's just that they don't know what the future holds, and that is their anxiety. Then, one would say, oh no, okay, but maybe we can leave the future to God, that sort of thing. So one of them said, one who lives in Canada said, then why don't we release her? Tumwachilie tu, aolewe. And this is long overdue. Let her make the date. So that is what happened. And but one of them said, no, she has my blessings, but I am not attending that wedding. That was now another brother. The brother, now the one who remained, said, no, siwezi kwenda huko nikaona actually. So that I appreciate the fact that he expressed himself and said he didn't want to see me getting married. They are such a wonderful family. Anyway, we are still together because if anything happens in that home, that my children are there. They will always, if somebody dies, somebody is sick, anything, they will still call me. So I feel like I have two families. So we got ready. Now all my friends, and I have very many friends in my church, many girlfriends, many women friends, my age mate, others are a little younger than me, but every woman was like, they were not even asking me can I be on the lineup? They were like, Ebu tuambie, tuambie color scheme, tell us, we are there, we are ready. So they would literally approach me and tell me, don't forget, I am on the lineup. Unasikia? I'm on the lineup. And I thought, what? So what really happened is that my friend and I, we decided not to have any of them in the lineup because unaweza kusahau moja, akuwe na attitude. So what we did was we got all our children and all our grandchildren, and they were on the lineup. And we had a very wonderful wedding that Charles can attest to. It was great. And like we had agreed, no going to his home and no, we are going to have a neutral place because tunataka mtu akiingia aulize wapi choo, wapi kitchen. We wanted a place where it's like we were having a new. So we got married in 2019, December 7th, and we lived in Roiro, and COVID struck. So COVID was 2020, 2021, 2022. Yeah. And so we had an opportunity to get to know one another even better. With nobody coming through the door. It was just great. It was great, and we were able to do things together. We had a lot of, in our church, when you get married, you're not left. So bado tulikuwa na hiyo council. Even before that, we had marriage counseling. So it continued online. A lot of great things we were learning. We learned and learned. It was really fantastic. And got to know one another a lot. And we decided on a lot of things to do. And it is within those COVID years that we decided that we really did not want to live in Ruiru. We thought, this is so boring. How do you live in a place like this every day? You wake up, you're not going anywhere, you are just there. Even if you go, you're just walking and coming back. No. So I told after talking him into it, he had refused. I told him, why don't we go to the countryside? Let's go to the countryside. Tuende huko. Sasa, huko tutakuwa busy, tutafanya kazi, have a free kind of life, and that is how it happened for us. So he and I decided to put our finances together, and we built up. We wanted it to be like store tu mahali tunaenda, tunaweka vitu vyetu tukivuna, na mahali pa kuna kitanda where we just go rest, you know, that sort of thing. But somehow God worked it out for us so that we were able to build a two-bedroom house, and we were able to now reclaim the land. And he had coffee, but he had cut a lot of that coffee, and the whole place was so bushy. But right now we have avocados, we have all those things. We are so busy. We are so busy. And then our children, they even yesterday, now they keep streaming. They keep coming, and we invite them. Sometimes we are together. There are those who still have some hang-ups, especially his. I think you have not talked about another chapter of your legs. That is so insignificant.
See, you're taking on the duty. What can I say?
So let me just add this, that both our children, his children and my children, they have really learned to appreciate us, both of us. We always have those 14 children, and how many of them? We have 8 boys.
14 children,
7 boys.
We got a team, 2 teams.
And when they are there, and they are the ages of 6 to around 8, because Richie is big. Yeah. But let's say that the real friendship that has cropped up is between us and the grandchildren. Yeah? We are very, very good friends with them. They keep wanting to come. And I know my son said the other day, you know, and he says, "This is your muka." I liked that very much, because at first he was so received. Yeah, and he keeps telling him, or us, it's like.
And once he said, "To the best they will come in the world."
Every moment spent with you is a treasure beyond measure.
Yeah.
Happy 70th birthday, Caris and Stella, Tugi and Joey and Kenna. You know, and it's great. It's really great. They come, and the other thing he said is that the best gift you've given us is this home. Tunasema tunaenda shacks, pamoja shopping. So we feel like we are so grateful to God for just the way he has like ticked, you know, like said, this is it. It's like he has sealed his blessing upon our relationship. And it's not like we do not get our own conflicts, because we are not the same. I mean, we're different. But I'm telling you, those counseling sessions that we had make it so easy for us to just get by and understand. Because one of the things we agreed together, he said, when, you know, we are, by the way, we are age mates. By 3 months.
Isn't that old?
Okay.
Mimi ninajua mbele yake.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeye ni wa March. Mimi ni wa January.
Yes, born on the same year, 1954. You know, and so one of the things we agreed is that no stress. Usinipe stress. Na mimi usinipatie stress. Na mimi sitaki, you know, our years require that we get happy. Hatutaki mambo ya stress hata kidogo. Yeah, so sometimes it can be short-tempered, and it's like no stress. No stress. So we have learned a lot.
And actually, she makes out of me. So somebody pushed us and gave us a talking stick. Yani yule anazungumza asifike kijiti.
By the way,
Eh?
Chukua kijiti, unasugua yote, na yeye anasugua. Lakini huyu my friend here nikizungumza tonight. But that makes life very, very interesting. And one thing that I have noted, challenge that we have I have experienced is mixing these two families. They are now like this, but it was very, very difficult to let them get together as one. When I was celebrating my 70th, you could know who's who's. You have to tell them walking here and there and there and there. And so, actually, what we should do, we should come and visit. Nearly is only 2 hours drive. Or you take a matter to 1,000 shillings to going and coming back. And uje ukule unono ya Nyeri.
Kuja muone
Na mmoja.
ile tunaita faith project. Our home. Na yeye ni champion of pika chapo. Na mkimo yetu sisi huwa hatupiki ile ya kawaida. We cook our mkimo with ndoma.
Na yeye ni champion wa kupika nini boga.
So tuko sawa. Karibuni.
Your children have embraced each other.
Yes. There you will get one, like we have one particular one who's very, very possessive of him, and has a difficult time. I think he really showed her so much love, and she's the firstborn. So sometimes she does not understand why she cannot, why I must be there when she has to raise certain issues. And he always insists, and then of course there was a tragedy that happened. I'll call it a tragedy, but that is God's will. On my birthday, my 70th birthday, the day before my birthday, my mother passed. They were going to come to the party, but now they couldn't. Now you can imagine how difficult it was, because she died in Zimbabwe, she had to come back. She had to be brought, sorry. Yes, of course. Yeah, and dealing with the loss of their mother, and us stepping here, and him, it was quite difficult, because they wanted him to connect like the way they had connected, but he couldn't. So it was very difficult, very, very difficult for them and for him. But as we are talking now, they are slowly healing. I think it's a healing process, because these are some of, your mother is your mother. It doesn't matter what happened, she will forever be your mother. Yeah, and so now, I feel like there is a lot of growth. They have grown. I think all of them are in their 40s, isn't it? 30, yeah. So we thought we should let you know that.
Yeah. And when we talk about healing, there's another aspect of thing that I would like to mention to us. Healing. I talk about my ex left in 2005, and it took me, for me to remove her in my mind, it took more than 20 years. Yeah. And lucky I had already seen this girl here, and we are living together, but removing her in my mind was really difficult. Until I was given a trick. Niende niandike barua, nimwandikie barua. Nimuite jina lolote ningetaka, nimtukane
vile ningetaka wewe ng'ombe hizo zote ukanikaandika nikararua katupa kwa shule nikaandika ingine more than 10 times.
Yeah, basically, he used to, can you imagine, from 2012, from the day of high, the day I asked him the story of his life, every single day, for I don't know how many years, he would always talk to me about her. Because now I'm wondering, now, he courtship. He courtship. Ni yangu ama ni yake. She was so deep in him. I mean, but I decided I am going to listen every single day. It went, every time we would meet, it was always, hey. So eventually I noted, tukikutana, leo hakumention. Inakaa inamtoka. And then another time, inakaka inamtoka. And because we decided to work with both churches, the church where he was in, where I was, because we just wanted a clean road, and so that nobody is, a clean journey, so that nobody is doing anything for anybody. So in church, that is when the pastor told him. The pastor and I agreed that it was a good idea for him to write a letter to her every single day. Because now, unajua sasa kuambiwa tena unatoka, lakini pia uta accept, but it will help. And he kept writing, and we told him, don't tell us what you've written. Just write and tear, or write and burn, or write and tell God, here is how I'm feeling right now. Help me overcome. This is, actually that is the best. You just remove that venom and don't even try to water it down, just as it is. If you feel like cussing somebody, doing all that sort of thing, just write whatever. And I am saying this because it helped me. It helped me in my first marriage. When my late pastor, we were not together, and someone made a beautiful picture and said, this picture itakatu hapo kwa sababu kulikuwa nyumba. I'm like, every day I'm seeing him there. Every day. So I would tell him things every day, and I would cry a lot because I felt like these were wasted years. Wasted. My career wasted. My life wasted. What happened? So everything. Ungenikuta kama ingekuwa video, huyu mama ameenda hapo na wazimu, But it helped me, so it helped him as well. And I feel like it will help you.
And how about the issue of the children? Now that you did succession, and your children inherited from their father.
Yes.
Now you're with him at his place. How about the children, his children, when it comes to now succeeding, God forbid not now? How did you agree? Because now your children already they have benefited from this other side.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know how old. Now for
my oldest, my daughter, my firstborn daughter is 46 years. And my last daughter is 36, I think.
now all the children have recognized this is their home.
Yes.
Where you are.
Yes.
You are the parents and this is their home. They have inherited this other home that is also their home. Now when it comes to issues of property, how do you go about it?
According to the prenuptial that we wrote among ourselves, is that the property that we held remains with her children, and the property that I have remains with my children.
So when you move to a country, is it
Yeah,
mutual home
what we did,
you
that chamber that we are using in Nyeri was bequeathed to me by my dad. So what I did is I have divided it among them. Hakuna kapushoni kale nimeweka kando na bibi yangu separately fenced. Yeah, na hiyo sasa hiyo mtu alikuja kwake mahali ya kujenga iko na kazi yake. I took them to the lawyer and that was written as a will. I have a house in Kawasaki. Waliambia hiyo nyumba ni yenu, si ya wake, ni yenu, lakini si yenu until he dies. Nita enjoy that house like now we have rented it. We are enjoying that rent. Yeah. So we do not go to them to beg, and they have it that way. They know.
As for me,
But as in